Okay, I just shot the same interview setup that you see behind me with a $700 gimbal camera and a $6,000 cinema camera that's fully rigged out to about $10,000. Okay, we're on a shoot right now and I'm filming BTS with the new Insta360 Luna Ultra. And when Joel showed up, he had one as well. So I had a crazy thought. What would it look like to replace our normal interview cameras with two Luna Ultras? So I'm going to sit down. We've still got all the same lighting, all the same setup, but let's see what it's going to look like on these tiny little cameras. Here we go. All right, so here's my normal two camera setup. On the A camera, I'm using the Sony FX6 with a Tamron 35-150. And then on the B camera, I'm using Sony A7S III with the Sony 85mm. This is the 1.8. And I also have it on a iFootage Shark Slider Nano to give us this motion. So I'm gonna stay still so you can see the footage. Cool. All right, now I've switched to the Insta360 Luna Ultra. I'm using the detachable remote as the microphone, and we're currently on the 3x lens to try and get a similar framing as we had on the FX6. The FX6 was around 50 millimeters-ish, so we tried to get a similar looking frame. With the wide angle lens, it was just way too wide. The camera to have a similar frame literally had to be like 2 feet away from me, and it didn't look great for that, not for an interview. But I don't know, looking at the screen, I'll have to tell you for sure once I look at a computer, but it looks pretty good. So now we're gonna look at same camera we've got on the slider for B cam. Here is the Insta360 Luna Ultra, still at on the 3x zoom lens, but we've got it on a slider, so it's giving us some parallax movement. We've moved it closer to try and get a tighter frame. But yeah, still got the screen, built-in microphone is what you're hearing. And yeah, so I'm gonna look at a camera now to where you can see what the shot looks like.
Dude, it looks so funny.
It does.
Just all this like lighting equipment and then these like two little cameras.
Okay, I'm looking at the footage on my computer right now, and honestly, I think I got fooled by that tiny screen on the Insta360. It looked way better out in the field than it does right now on a bigger screen. Back to back with the Sonys, there is a noticeable difference. The FX6 and the A7S III have way more detailed. So don't be fooled by the 8K sensor thing. Yes, the file says 8K on the Insta360, but for actual like sharpness and clarity, it actually kind of looks closer to a 1080p file. Now that could totally be my fault. I didn't really have that much time to like dive into all of the settings. And I watched Philip Bloom's video and he talked about the auto exposure making things look mushy. I shot everything in manual exposure, but I did use auto white balance, so I don't know if that would have caused it or not. So take that into consideration. I did as well as I could, but I'm still holding out hope that it could be user error. Here's the thing though. On its own, not side by side with a $10,000 FX6 rig, the Insta360 looks pretty good, and it's a clear step above a phone camera. So, can you shoot an interview on 2 of these Insta360 cameras? Yeah, of course you can. If you've got a lower budget client, this is honestly kind of perfect. And you got to be upfront with them and say, hey, at this price point, you're going to get a smaller camera system. And if you light it really well, it looks great. It holds up. And honestly, that's the bigger lesson here. Okay. So the image you're getting is mostly about lighting and composition, not really about the camera. I mean, at this point, all cameras made in the last couple of years are really good. A really good camera with terrible lighting, it looks terrible. But with great lighting and a well-composed frame, just about any camera can look really good. That's a huge part of why this $700 gimbal camera holds up at all. It's sitting in the exact same lighting setup that I had for my FX6. Take that into consideration before you spend money on the camera. Lighting first, then I would say probably lensing second. Let's look at the math. Between this and my FX6 rig, you're looking at least 10 times, maybe more, of the price. But do you actually get 10 times the image? And I really don't think so. I honestly think the Sony image is 2 or probably even 3 times as good as what you're getting from the Insta360. The Sony still wins on depth of field. Full frame sensor, wider aperture equals a blurrier background. That kind of feels more professional, right? The list of pros for the Sony is long, but the Insta360 has its own list of pros. You get 2 lenses. The 3x lens I shot these interviews on is about a 60mm equivalent, and the wide lens is about a 20mm equivalent. The gimbal is amazing. The auto tracking is amazing. And the detachable screen with the built-in mic, that's what you've been hearing on the Insta360's clips. They sound honestly really good. And outside you'd want some sort of little wind cover, but I am super impressed with that tiny little microphone. And that detachable screen, honestly, for me, is like really the cherry on top of this camera. Here's my final thought. This camera is amazing. It's not gonna fully replace your cinema cameras for interviews, but it's pretty dang close and a really amazing budget option. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm ready to be roasted. Bring it on.